In this video, we're going to continue working on our website, and this time we're going to add a navigation bar. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that in our Pages panel on the right, that we expand Master Pages and we select Master A. And this is where we're going to put our navigation bar, and that way it will appear on every page that is linked to Master A. Okay, so we're going to go to Insert, Navigation, Navigation Bar, and we will see the Insert Navigation Bar dialog box. The first thing to notice is that at the moment we've only got one tab, which is Type. We won't see any of the other tabs until we actually click on a design. Now there are lots of designs here, and you can always go through them and see if there's one that you like, and you can just click on it and click OK, and it will insert it onto your page. We're just going to take a very simple one, designer one, and we're just going to edit it just so that I can show you the entire process. The first thing I want to do is to go to navigation type and make sure that it's based on the site structure. Then I'm going to go to the Appearance tab, and the first thing I want to do is to check all buttons are the same. That way the first and last buttons aren't going to be different, they're all just going to be in one design. Then I'm going to click this pencil icon to enter the button studio. So the first thing to notice is the states panel at the bottom, and that shows the varying states a button can be in. The first one, background, isn't really a state, it's just a background that will apply to all of the states. And then we've got the normal state, which is when you're just looking at a button and you're not interacting with it. We've got the down state, which is when you've clicked a button, and we've got the hover state, which is when you're rolling your mouse over a button. We've also got disabled, menu right and menu below, but we're less interested in those last three, and we're really only interested in the first three states. So the first thing I want to do is to change this rounded rectangle into a standard rectangle. To do that, I'm going to double click background state. I'm going to select the rectangle. I'm going to set the corner radius to 0. I'm also going to set the line width, there's this grey line around it, to 0 as well, just to remove it. I'm going to set the background color to scheme color 3. And using the transform panel in the bottom right, I'm going to set the position to be in the top left by making X 0 and Y 0 as well. And I'm going to make the width 80 pixels and the height 30 pixels. That way it matches the background, which here, as you can see, is 80 pixels wide by 30 pixels high. Now what I'm going to do is just to edit the text. So I'm going to go to the normal state. I'm going to select the text, and I'm going to make this scheme color 4. And I'm also going to edit the dimensions again in the transform panel by making the width 80 pixels and the height 15 pixels. And just to make sure that it's dead in the center, I'm going to go to the align panel, and I'm going to click center vertically and center horizontally, just like that. Now I'm going to move on to the down state, and there's this shadow created by this quick shape. I'm just going to select and delete that. And I want the background here to be blue and the text to be white. So the way to make the background blue is I'm actually just going to go back to the background state, select this quick shape rectangle, press Ctrl C to copy it. I'm going to go to the down state, press Ctrl Alt V, which is paste in place. So it will put it in the exact same position it was in the background state. I'm going to select color scheme 4. And I'm going to select the text. I'm going to select color scheme 1, which is white, and that makes it a lot more visible. And in the transform panel, I'm going to set the dimensions of the text to be 80 pixels wide by 15 pixels high. I'm going to repeat the same process for the hover state. Since I've already copied the background panel, I'm just going to press Ctrl Alt V and scheme color 4, and the text is going to be white. And I'm just going to change the dimensions, 80 pixels wide by 15 pixels high, just like that. And that's pretty much our buttons completed. So I'm just going to hit commit changes. As you can see in this preview, once we hover over the button, it will change to blue with white text. Otherwise it's light grey with a blue text. And the next thing I want to do is I don't want the buttons to be so close together. So I'm going to go to layout, and I'm going to set a horizontal separation of 10 pixels. I'm going to remove this vertical separation. And I'm also going to set alignment to be right, just like that. And you always want to make sure that make all buttons the same width has been ticked. And I'm just going to click OK, and I'm just going to click on the page, and it will place it on the page. And I want this to be aligned with this right margin. So I'm just going to move it there and it will snap into place. And I want it to be 10 pixels from the top. So I'm going to use the transform panel in the bottom right. Just make that 10 pixels. Now you can see our menu is pretty much just from here to here, but it's showing an entire area much larger than that. So I'm just going to resize that. Just like that. And I'm just going to preview that and we'll see how it looks. So that looks great. We've got a nice, simple but effective menu. If you look in the address bar, when I click About Us, it's actually changing the page as well. Just like that. So great. So join me in the next video when I'll be adding a logo to our website. Don't forget to visit my website at www.iplus360.com for free downloads and premium templates.